stories have always fascinated me, and I think most of you, right? So I think we all know this story when it comes to self-help or knowing the truest possible self. That an egg of eagle rolls down in the eggs of a hen, and the hen, without knowing that it's an egg of eagle, she's able to hatch that egg along with all her eggs, and an eaglet is raised among the chicken, and it behaves like chicken unless one fine day it realizes that it's not a chicken, but it's an eagle, and then able to recognize its highest possible potential, and it takes a leap from chicken on the ground to the highest possible soaring in the sky eagle. That. And similar to this, there are other stories. For example, I think a cub of tiger or lion was raised by the wolves, right? And one fine day, he's able to recognize himself. He sees himself at the surface of water, riverside, like a mirror. Somebody reminds him. That's what the story is. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, why I'm sharing this story of knowing our truest possible self? Because we all are conditioned beings. We all are so occupied, busy in our day-to-day fast-paced life, and we don't have time even to introspect and to look into this, that why we are looking at peace, why our innate nature is love, compassion, peace, freedom, right? So today, if very seriously in a sense, very holistically, if you look into this and we set the tone of 2023, this new year, to know that who we are actually and unleash our highest possible potential, and evolve holistically. So what is the way? What is the way to know who we are? Is there any possible way to know that we are not just the composite of flesh and bones, but we are something maybe more than what we know as flesh and bones? We are something. The one insight comes to my mind, and I think you would have definitely mulled it over. That's basically when we see outside that everything is changing. So who is able to see the change? There has to be some component. There has to be something intrinsic which is beyond all those changes, which is why able to see all that change. So something has to be stable. Only then, from that point of stability, great stability, right, is able to look at the change, that things are changing. That's one way. So how is that possible to recognize that which is never changing within us? Yeah? The background of whatever we see. Is it possible to snap our mind of getting into a flow? I mean, getting carried away by the streams of the thoughts and getting lost somewhere, and then we inflict a lot of suffering as a body mind identity, and it's mixed with the social identity, and there are certain roles we are supposed to play in the society, and obviously there are certain expectations, and sometimes it seems like an abyss. There is no end to it, right? So my personal way, or maybe a practice, or maybe I don't know what should I say, because it cannot be practiced, but it can be self-reminded, is that an ability to snap that mind, being in the present moment, right? Being in the present moment. And let's actually look into this, what actually present moment is all about. Present moment doesn't mean that I become like a zombie, I become like a dead vegetable, and I don't remember anything of the past, whatever I learned, or I'm unable to make any future plan, and I be in the present moment. I don't call it as very healthy and holistic present moment. Because imagine a case of the student, they are appearing for examination, and it's like brainwash. Everything gets washed out of their past, of their memory. It's erased, and they don't know anything. It's not. Present moment is to know that you are now and here, being aware that you are aware. I repeat, being aware that you are aware, and then you can remember the past, pull out any relevant thought from the past. Even you can visualize about the future. So past and the future actually they are a part of this eternal presence, divine presence. you and me are the presence of this presence, right? So when we are aware, for example, you can just, we can do it now. You are listening to me, and you are aware that you are aware, that you're listening to me, or maybe some thought is coming of doubt, self-doubt, or maybe thought of coming of, about this information, piece of information, whatever it is, but you are aware. So you are now here in the present moment. You can pinch yourself, and you are here. So there are different ways. There is a Hollywood flick, of one of my favorites, Will Smith and his son Jaden Smith. I think the movie is by Manoj Shyamalan, one of my favorite Hollywood actors and producers, Manoj Shyamalan, if you recall, Sixth Sense of Bruce Willis. So, in this movie, After Earth, Will Smith is giving some inputs to his son how to be in the present moment. So he says you can make use of different senses, 5 senses. You can touch yourself, and you can snap your mind. You can touch the ground. You can actually see things as they are. Then you are in the present moment. Because when you are in the present moment, the rush of emotions and the thoughts, it gets faded. The traffic actually dilutes, and then you're able to overpower with your inner energy. That energy is divine presence. So you are able to outgrow, outperform, overcome anything which is trying to overpower. So that is one of the ways. Well, there are many techniques, could be, I don't know if I call this as a technique, but many ways or whatever, able to snap your mind, be in the present moment. So this observation, when you are observing something, so who is observing? The conditioned being is observing. So therefore, whatever we observe, it varies from person to person. So that observer is the observer. If I recall, one of my gurus, Jiddu Krishnamurti, and he keeps on saying the observer and the observed are the same. So he is indicating at that observation. In observation, there is no observer, there is no observer. Right? That observation is actually being in a state of pure presence, getting out of all kinds of conditionings, beliefs, thoughts, emotions, whatever, fears, insecurities. In that pure observation, you will see everything gets dissolved. Right? So you can try that, and let's see what happens. What will be your experience? So being that observation, getting over about the observer, conditioned observer, and that which is observed, that pure state of observation actually roots you to the present moment. And what in a layman language, who gets actually into the future or maybe in the past? In the future, the person who is quite ambitious, being ambitious is fine, no problem. We all are. I'm also. But not at the cost that you are always in the future and not enjoying the present, whatever is there. Yeah. So when you are too much worrying about what is going to happen in the future, lot of desires over there to be there, then you are not in the present moment. So when you are able to understand the futility and the vanity show, which has not yet happened, you can plan, but then you park, and then you be in the present as a performer, as a warrior, as a karma yogi, then you'll be able to give 100% what you are doing. Isn't it so? So this is one way. Imagine a case, the person who doesn't have any iota of desire to become something spiritually, then he will be actually in the present moment, because there is nothing which is dragging you from present to there. And similarly, when you are always into that kind of a remorse or repentance or regret of whatever you have done in the past, so that is also haunting you. So when you let go all those things, forgive and forget yourself rather than forgiving other people, yourself, then there is nothing to haunt over there. Then you will be automatically in the present moment. Are we there? That's what. These are the simple things. So I'm going to pick up this, and I keep saying that only the person who is present in the present moment can only present the best present. कहते हैं अब में ही रब है और रब में ही सब है. जिसने आज को जीता उसने हर ताज को जीता. As a karma yogi, as a performer, one should practice, one should learn from the past, one should plan for the future. No second thought, no hunky-dory. One has to do that. But when it comes to performance, one has to be absolutely clear. So three things which comes to my mind that which is the most important time. If at all time, actually presence is not a dimension of time, right? It is something much beyond. Just like I was saying that, your past, your memory, and your planning, what you are planning, visualizing about what is going to happen after that. Everything is contained in this divine presence. But if at all, someone says, which is the present moment, and this moment is the moment. So this moment is the most important time, most important, or whatever you call it, the present moment. That is one. Then number two, and which is the most important person? Definitely me, you, yeah. But the most important person or the process or the product, is that which you are dealing in that present moment, in the now. So then the third question arises, what we are supposed to do, which is the most important task or karma. That is basically to give 100% to that person you are interacting with, you are dealing with. Maybe you are dealing with the person, or maybe you are studying some product, or you are engaged into a certain process or something like. You are performing something, maybe performing art, or maybe an examination, maybe presenting, or maybe it's anything. You should be 100% of that. So these three things are actually linked. So who is able to do that? Who has this mastery of being in the present moment? So what are the benefits of being in the present moment? The benefits are tremendous. We all know that. You won't get into catastrophizing kind of self-sabotage. I keep saying that. But you are as burning light. You are the fire. You are the master, and nothing can beat you. You're unbeatable in that sense, right? That's what. Because when you are there, you take a break, you take a pause, and you can turn in, and you can actually know your truest possible potential of that tiger or a lion, which was raised by the wolves, and one fine day able to see, able to mirror himself, that his true nature is something else. So your and my true nature is maybe beyond this flesh and bones, something which we need to co-explore, which we need to find out, which we need to recognize that. And then we'll understand the potential. So ability be in the now. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it was a long chat, long discussion. The book on the onset of 2023 is Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Power of Now. Well, this book, I think 20 years ago, one of my spiritual friend and mentors had advised me Power of Now. I don't know whether I should call it as book, but this is something one needs to keep handy with oneself. And there is a way, in fact, even to go through this book. So if you don't have this book, don't wait for long. Yeah, please have the copy of Power of Now. There is Practicing Power of Now also, and by Eckhart Tolle there is New Earth also. There is New Earth also. So there are good books by Eckhart Tolle. You can listen to him also. If you are into that raising consciousness, and the moment when you hear Eckhart Tolle, I think you will glimpse the dimension of being in the now. Call it as Sakshi Bhava or consciousness or whatever you call it. Everything actually oozes out from that. So this is about this book, Power of Now. I'm not going to go to this. What is this Power of Now? You find out, you get this, and just to self-remind to ourselves that on the beginning of 2023, let's kickstart by knowing, by trying to understand what actually we are, what is our potential. So let's explore our potential, and let's execute that potential, and let's see what happens in this. So let's try to get into a radical change, a mutation in the brain, the mutation in our complete being, not just biological, neurological mutation, but spiritual mutation. Try to snap out from that and try to know what you are. Could be you must be practicing meditation, maybe any other technique, maybe any therapy. Yeah. So don't get confused. Let's get infused by Power of Now and try to dissolve all kinds of dichotomy, any kind of differences or division or doubts, and let's move from confusion to clarity, from chaos to compassion. Right? That's a quantum leap. That's a quantum leap. Thank you very much. Thank you.